Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and today I'm going to be introducing another new brand into the store. It is going to be Martenero. Martenero is a brand I first came across a couple of years ago at an event and just looked at the watches in passing and then saw the guys, the last year or two again, and then just recently they'd reached out to me and asked if I'd like to forge a relationship, and I did, of course. Who wouldn't? They're gorgeous watches if you're familiar with them, and as you know, I love to incubate the micro brands. So we're going to take a look at I think 4 different models today. Just do a quick overview of the brand, and so you guys can check them out. I'm actually only wearing one watch today. I know, crazy as it may seem. I've got the Squale Matic 60 Atmos polished blue. Still absolutely loving it. I've also got a new camera that I'm filming this on, so it may look a little bit different. Bear with me. If you have any feedback on the camera, I would love to hear it. And let's get over it and check out Martenero Watches. So I'm going to be reviewing 4 different models of Martenero watches, and each one, within each model, I guess there's a bunch of different colorways or executions. So I'll try to make reference to that as I go through it. So the first one I'm going to look at is the Martenero Kerosene Automatic with a white dial, a little bit of blue accents. So this is one of their newer watches, and let's get into the specs and then talk about it. So first off, it's 42 millimeters in diameter. Don't get disheartened. There's smaller watches coming up. I just wanted to start with this one since it's kind of the newest. It's 42 millimeters in diameter. It's just under 11 thick. It's 50 on the tip to tip. It is a 20 millimeter lug. It is running on, if you watch the seconds hand, you'll see it's pretty smooth. It's running on a Miyota 9015 movement, which is a high-end Miyota movement. All of the watches that I'm going to show you today run on the 9015. It is a 28,800 beats per hour watch, which means this second hand is ticking along at 8 ticks per second. So it makes for a very smooth watch, and again, it's just a very high-quality movement. Sapphire crystal, another great thing. Good movement. Good crystal. There's no skimping here. Screw down crown. Even though it's only 50 meters water resistant, it's still a screw down crown, which is great. For accidental opening, it's not going to open without you knowing it. So to operate the watch, you unscrew the crown. You can see it's signed. It pops out. You can pull it. The second hand will stop because it is a hacking movement. You can set the time. You can pull it out one click and you can set the date, and you can wind it. The winding is so smooth. It's very nice. And you push down and turn to get the crown to seat back to full lock position. So like it's sapphire front crystal. It actually is also a sapphire back crystal, which is not something that you always see. Usually companies will do a sapphire on the front and a mineral on the back. This is a sapphire back as well. You can see some of the markings on the back. Martenero comes to us from New York City, Brooklyn. The watches are regulated before it leaves their assembly, also as well in New York City. So check out, just look at the nice detail of the dial. This particular colorway has the nice blue chapter ring matching the hands, the red seconds hand. Nice casework, beautiful finishing. It feels very nice in the hand. You can see that Miyota movement as you saw it before. And check out the strap. No chinsing on the strap. Nice, thick leather. Nice stitching. Is actually thick stitching. Looks amazing. Signed buckle. The price tag. The price is $595. So what do I think about the price? I think it's right in the ballpark of where it should be. So it's $595 for a watch bearing a Miyota 9015 movement, front and back sapphire crystal. It's a micro brand, which means there's not as much buying power in the brand. They're not making 10 million watches. Everything is handcrafted in small batches, but it is a very handsome watch. In the other colorways, it looks just as nice. But I picked this nice white and blue one to start. Now we're going to move on to the Ace Automatic, which, as you may guess from the name, is a little nod to a pilot's watch. And it definitely has pilot's watch feel and look to it. The nice numbers at the 3, 6, and 9, large, easy to read. The inner 24-hour dial. Take that, give it a second there to focus. Kind of an aviator's triangle at the 12. Easy to read hands. Accented orange seconds hand. I did not tell you the best part about this watch. I didn't even start talking about it yet. It's 38 millimeters, so everybody can start cheering from their seats. So this is a 38 millimeter watch. Again, same thickness as before. It's just under 11 thick. It's 46 on the tip to tip, so this is going to be wearable by pretty much everybody. We are again sapphire, front and back. Miyota 90-15 movement, 42-hour power reserve. Look at look how smooth it is. Just such a nice movement. Customized rotor with the company name etched on it, Martenero. Beautiful brown strap, 20 millimeter lug. Still 50 meters water resistant. Still a screwed down crown. The watch I showed you before had no lume. This one, let's check it out. There you go. I'm not going to make it any dimmer in here, but you can clearly see the hands. Very easy to read. Pretty cool looking. Very simple. We'll take a moment and just check out the detail work on it. It's simple, but the finishing is very nice. The dial is very nice. Beautiful looking hands. What I dig about the watches, and kind of like their slogan in general, is that it's just a modern take on old designs. The watches are not copies of anything else. This is recognizable as a pilot's watch, but it certainly has its own design cues. The Kerrison I just showed you, and its own design. It's not going to look like anything else out there. Reminds me of a few other brands I carry where a lot of times when people sit down to design a watch, they think of a watch they like, and that's where they start going. In this case, I don't see the designer doing that. I see him starting exactly with the watch that he wanted. He knew the look that he wanted, and that's what he went for. I'm not sure if I mentioned price. This one's $100 cheaper at $495. So now moving on to the Martenero Marquee automatic dress watch. Again, we're going to be powered by the 9015. Sapphire window front and back. I guess you guys are kind of figuring out the DNA by now. This is like the first case I showed you. It's 42, just under 10 thick, 50 on the tip to tip with a 20 millimeter lug, 50 meter water resistance. And this is more of a classical dress watch. The dial is silverish. I believe it also comes in a black. I guess I should have mentioned before the ace that I showed you also comes in blue. But it's a dress watch. There's no lume on it. But let's look at some of the detail. Check out the hands. Like I said, I have a new camera. Let's try to zoom in and see how it goes. So there's a close-up of the dial. You can see the chapter ring is separate from the main dial. It's added on. Just another additional level of detail. And then the markers on top of that are applied. Check out the blue seconds hand. It just looks so nice. Really nice and simple. Roman numerals. Looks great. It comes on a blue leather strap to kind of pick up the blue from the hands. Still signed buckle. This one's back to the first price of $595. And last but certainly not least, we come to the Founder in blue or marine. It also comes in a white dial, I believe. This is back to $495, so you can see where I'm going here. This guy's 38 millimeters again by the just under 11 thick, 46 on the tip to tip, 20 millimeter lug, sapphire front and back, Miyota 9015 still. Look at the markings on the dial. Check out the quarter, the last quarter with the blues. The orange minutes hand gives you a little bit of contrast. Nice blue strap to match the dial. Just really nice looking, really beautiful, but still simple. Refined simplicity, I'll say. I know it's not their slogan, but that's what I'm gonna call it. That 9015 beating at 28,800 beats per hour, giving you the smooth sweep. It's the same frequency that that your Rolex movement beats at in the Submariner, or pick your favorite watch. So smooth. The only thing smoother than that would be a 36,000 beat per hour. And then after that, you got to go to spring drive. So there's others, but not really common. Just looks really good. Let's dim out the lights for just a second and check out the lume. Here you can see we've got lume on the 12 o'clock mark. Indices around the dial, the tip of the seconds hand, and the regular hands. And I guess that's a cool light from my camera, the red light. Like I said, I'm learning a lot of new stuff with this thing. seems to be much more of a professional photographer, video camera than I am. But anyway, easy to read in the low light. Looks great, no doubt. I think we'll flip the lights on, and then why don't we do a bunch of wrist shots. You can see how they look on my wrist. So let's start it off. Here is that 38 millimeter Founder. Does that look awesome? And hey, it matches my it matches my sweatshirt. I'm wearing my best sweatshirt for you guys. Looks awesome. Looks really nice. Fits nice. Super comfortable. 6 3/4 inch wrist. In case you haven't heard me say it 10,000 times. So in the interest of timing, I will just try on one of the 38s and one of the 42s, since they all are pretty much the same exact size and case. This is the 42 millimeter Kerosene that I believe I opened with this one. Again, for my wrist, it fits 50 on the tip to tip, 6 3/4, below the bone, above the bone. It doesn't really matter. They both ways it'll fit me just fine. I would wear it no problem. Everyone, of course, has their own threshold to what they want to wear, but definitely would get my vote. This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, showing you 4 new watches by the brand Martenero, which is also a new brand that we're featuring in the store. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below, and I will be sure to address them as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.